Hey everyone, welcome to the world of solid principles. In this video, I am going to talk about open close principle. We will see a code in a working condition, then identify flaw inside it, and then see how open close principle helps us to remove that flaw. So let's begin. The principle is very simple to understand. It says whether you build a class or a method or a module or an application, it should be open for extension but closed for modification. The simplest example to understand this definition is your IDE or your code editor. It is open for extension by allowing you to install different plugins, but it is closed for modification in the sense whenever you install a plugin, it doesn't need to modify its code. And that is what open close principle is. To understand this with real-time example, let's take a look at this file agent class. This class exposes a save method which writes a file to the specific path. It also ensures that the file is returned to the disk or drive only if drive is not busy at that moment, or else it throws an exception. So from the consumer point of view, consumer will try to consume this file agent, something like this. Well, so far this looks good. Now let's try to see if this file agent class and a save method follows the single responsibility principle. In my opinion, yes, it does. Why? Because it carries a single responsibility of saving the file to the given location, and it throws an exception only if it is not able to do that operation, which seems okay. But now let's talk about the open close principle and try to see the flaw with this approach. Let's take a use case where consumer wants to save specific types of files to the specific folder. So for example, all photos goes to pictures folder, whereas all videos goes to videos folder. File agent as of today is not going to support this by default. It will need a modification to support such kind of requirement, which clearly indicates that the file agent is not at all following the open close principle. Why? Because it is not open for any extension, and if any extension is required, it is not closed for modification. It needs a refactoring. So let's go back to our previous code and try to refactor the file agent so as to support this requirement. We will rewrite the code by removing the hard-coded path and changing the implementation to have a conditional logic to decide the path. Now this solves the requirement because all the pictures goes to the picture folder and all the videos goes to the videos folder, and that is what consumer needed. Wait, does it follow open close principle yet? Definitely not. Why? Let's see. What if tomorrow consumer wants to save a new type of file, say document, to the documents folder? Definitely you'll have to write another if condition for it. You'll again have to modify this code, and which is why it is still not following the open close principle. Get it? The first and the easiest solution to implement open close principle is to provide appropriate method parameters so that consumer can extend the behavior as per their need, and you don't need to modify or refactor the internal code. So in our case, instead of writing if, else or switch cases inside the save function to decide the path, you just make a path as a method parameter and let consumer decide how to use which path, when to use which path, and then invoke the save method accordingly. Now you can say that we are following open close principle. If you understand this simple example, how about we see some advanced example? So let's say we have different medium by which we can send notification to the users like email or SMS, and we are offering this medium to the consumer. So consumer created a notifier class, and then based on the user preferences, consumer decided to either use email client or SMS client. Well, this looks pretty okay, but now let's ask this question. Does it follow open-close principle? If your answer is no, you are going into right direction. Because tomorrow, when we have a WhatsApp client as a new medium, this notify method will have to be refactored to add a new logic to decide when to use WhatsApp client. Now to address this problem and apply open-close principle, we are going to create an interface iNotifier which will be exposed to the consumer, and consumer then can consume either of email notifier, SMS notifier or WhatsApp notifier. All of these implement the same interface. So the iNotifier interface will look something like this, where it will expose a send method which accepts a message and a user. And then we can have different implementation as per the medium which we have. So like email notifier will have its own implementation where it will create email client and send an email. Whereas SMS notifier will implement the same interface by creating SMS client and sending a text message to the user. Let's try to rewrite the notifier now. So, notifier, instead of creating email clients or SMS clients, it will just consume the iNotifier interface, and based on the user preference, it will create either email notifier or SMS notifier and then send a message to the user. As simple as that. If you are thinking that this is still violating the open-close principle, because in future whenever WhatsApp notifier is about to use by notifier, it will have to refactor again to add another condition to create WhatsApp notifier. And you are absolutely right. So how do we fix it now? Well, here comes the saver, factory pattern. The consumer can consume a notifier factory to create an appropriate instance of notifier based on the user preference. And the notifier factory will look something like this. It will have a creation logic to create the notifier based on the preference. This way, the notifier will have a single responsibility as well as it will be open for extension yet closed for modifications. Which means whenever in future we have a WhatsApp notifier, we will modify only the factory to create WhatsApp notifier based on the preference. And if you see the consumer code, we haven't touched it, and still it will be able to fulfill this new behavior. And that is the beauty of open-close principle. I hope you realize the benefit of using open-close principle. Now you can have your application which can adapt to the new extensions, and you will be more happy to see that you don't need to modify the existing ones to support the new behaviors. If you are wondering whether interface is the only way to apply open-close principle, then these are a few other ways by which you can achieve it. One, which we already saw in the first example, is via method parameters. Second one, of course, you can also go for inheritance to apply this principle. Third is the interface approach, which we just saw. And the fourth one, there are multiple design patterns available, which indirectly helps you to apply open-close principle to your designs. So like factory pattern, or adapter pattern. What if I don't follow open close principle? Well, you'll have to pay for it in future. Your code complexity will increase a lot, losing the readability. And definitely you will break the single responsibility principle. Second, you'll also brought high maintenance cost. So whenever you change a little bit of code, there will be an additional overhead to test or regress so that nothing else breaks. And the third one is about tight coupling between different layers, which will make it difficult to extend your application in future. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about open close principle, and also share any other topics which you want me to cover in future. This is Sagar Wagh, and I am here to explain different design principles in as simple way as possible. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.